businesses in parts of Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal continuing to bear the brunt of the looting and the destruction to property that we have seen. Scores of retailers, essential services being affected, being forced to close their doors. Well, of course, we know that the impact has already strained the economy. For now, we're joined by Risk Management South Africa's Thabile Nyaba and the Black Business Council CEO, Kganki Matabane. Thabile, let me begin with you and, your own reflections on some of the scenes that we have been witnessing over the last couple of days.
A great evening to you, Kathy. Yes. So as the Risk Management Institute, we're actually very disappointed that this risk has actually materialized. So if you look at our EMSA report, which we did for 2021, we had highlighted two of these risks. The first one was the structural inequality, and the other one was the youth being under pressure due to the unemployment. And furthermore, in 2021, Kathy, we also identified two additional risks, which were the potential of social unrest and then the likely increase in the crime. And we highlighted that, if we leave this unattended or untreated, they will actually have a potential of leading to the riots, the looting, the damage to property, the harm to people, and higher rate of infection, which is exactly what we are doing, what we are seeing now. Mostly due to the lack of unemployment and the loss of income, the poverty rates are pretty much higher, which is why then we're starting to see all of these things happening. So from our side, we said we had highlighted this as the emerging risk that needed to be treated, and indeed now we are dealing with the risk management in action as we witness this risk having materialized.
Thabile, it's quite interesting because over the last couple of days, what has really been emphasized is the work that has been done by different groups, including yourselves, that have been predicting this moment for some time, that have been raising the red flag and warning that we are about to hit, turbulent waters. Something must be done to prevent this, and yet nothing seems to be done. Where is the disconnect in as far as the work that individuals like yourself are doing and those who are in charge of determining government policy?
So, Kathy, what we have witnessed is that there was a huge collaboration. If I just use maybe COVID as an example, there was a huge collaboration between the private sector and the public sector. And I think maybe an opportunity right there is to carry on doing this, collaboration. The other area that we are actually foreseeing is that in as much as during COVID, I'm referring this because it actually highlighted a lot of things that we needed to do. We saw the government using the risk-adjusted strategy. And our view then is that maybe for every decision that we're taking, maybe at the government level or even at the corporate level, it needs to be risk-based. Because every decision that gets taken, it's got some consequences. And if we do not actually highlight these consequences, then it might even have unintended one like we are seeing now. For instance, any political risk might have, which is what we are seeing, a social impact, might have economic impact, and what we are seeing now as well is the risk insurance. It's the insurance risk as well. So we believe that maybe the disconnect is that sometimes the risk, and we see this as risk management practitioners, we highlight all these risks, but maybe when it comes to taking in the energies or looking at the strategies and the mitigations, we don't really see that through. And this is we believe it's a huge wake-up call from all the way from the government down to the different organizations that they need to take the risk management pretty seriously, because what we are what we are seeing now, it's a definite risk management in action.
Sure. Kganki, let me bring you into the conversation here. Some of your members could well be amongst those that would have had to watch their businesses go up in flames over the last couple of days, or at least be looted. What's the sentiment of the council tonight?
Thank you very much, Katie, for inviting us. Evening to you, the viewers at home, and Thabile. I think the challenge that we've been dealing with for the past 27 years and even before, and they are more prevalent now that we are living in a democracy, is that when you have the majority of the citizens not owning any part or not feeling like they own any part of the economy, that on its own is a sitting time bomb, and it needs different triggers, and like we've just witnessed, and we have what we have, and what we have. If we want to resolve it, we need to look at the underlying issues, and I agree. We need to perhaps, as a country, have the same war room that we had when we're dealing with COVID, and have a similar war room to deal with the issue of unemployment, the issue of continuous exclusion of black people in the economy, because as long as we're not resolving those main issues, we're not going to have a long-term sustainable solution. We need to bring everyone into the fold. People need to feel like they own something in the economy, because if you own, if you look at, for example, the people are not even scared of being on TV, because they sort of resign themselves that we've got nothing to lose. If you've got something to lose, you wouldn't want to be seen on TV, because you can lose your job or lose your house or lose your car or something. But we've got that thing. But obviously, we do have a criminal element that is also almost taken advantage of the situation. And then the focus, I think, in the short term is that we need to find a way of how then do we support those businesses to reopen. As soon as we were back to normal, in inverted commas, the protests are not there anymore. We need to try and reopen those shops, reopen those malls, so that we can recreate those jobs that we will have lost. Because we don't need necessarily to have the situation worse by increasing unemployment. We need to at least secure those jobs, and then let in the meantime everyone work. And then let's have that war room as a country to say, what are the solutions for making sure that we include young people, we include women, we include people with disabilities, we include black people in as part of the ownership of the economy.
All right. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Thabile Nyaba, President of the Institute of Risk Management South Africa. Kganki Matabane is with the Black Business Council.